History holds many grand stories. We know of the Great Wall of China. We know of Hadrian's Wall in Britain. These tales of stone and might capture our imagination. They speak of empires, borders, human will. But some stories are lost. Some are deliberately erased. One such story is the tale of a great wall in Africa. For generations, it was dismissed as a myth, a whisper, a legend with no place in formal records. Now new evidence challenges old beliefs. We stand where myth meets the historical record. Did a Great Wall of Africa exist? And if so, why was its story forgotten? This was not a single continuous barrier like China's wall, rather a vast network of walls, ditches. The search for Africa's lost walls begins in the dense forests and rolling savannas of West Africa. The most significant and well-documented are the walls of Benin, located in modern-day Edo State, Nigeria. This was not just a wall around a single city. It was an elaborate system of ramparts and moats that historians estimate stretched for 16,000 kilometers in total. This network enclosed hundreds of communities linking them to the capital, Benin City. The primary wall, or Iya, encircled the main city, but a complex web of outer walls extended into the countryside, protecting farmland and smaller settlements. A defensive system on an epic scale, a testament to immense organization. The first European accounts came from Portuguese traders in the late 15th century. One visitor, Duarte Pacheco Pereira, wrote around 1505 of a great city protected by a large moat. He called it very large and well fortified. But early descriptions missed the true scale. Archaeology provides the hard, physical evidence that turns legend into fact. Excavations along the Benin walls have unearthed artifacts that tell us about the people who built and lived behind them. Digs have revealed layers of construction showing that the walls were not built all at once. They were expanded and repaired over centuries. Radiocarbon dating provides a timeline charcoal pottery. Some of the earliest sections date to around 800 CE. The main period of construction seems to have been between the 13th and 15th centuries, a time when the Kingdom of Benin was growing in power and influence. The construction itself is a marvel of engineering. The walls are primarily massive earth ramparts with a deep, wide ditch, or moat, on the exterior side. To build them, workers dug up millions of tons of earth with simple tools and moved it to create the towering banks. The scale of the labor is staggering. It has been estimated the Benin walls took more man-hours than the Great Pyramid of Giza. While archaeology provides the bones of the story, oral traditions provide its soul. In West Africa, history was not always written in books. It was preserved in stories. It was preserved in songs. It was preserved in proverbs. It was carried in the memories of elders and passed down from one generation to the next. For the people of Benin, the Great Walls, or Iya, are a central part of their identity. Local oral histories are rich with details about their construction. They tell of the great Obas, or kings, who commanded the walls to be built. One of the most famous is Oba Ewar the Great, who ruled in the 15th century. Tradition credits him with a major expansion of the walls around the capital city. Elders in villages near the walls can sometimes point out the exact path of a rampart that is now completely invisible to the untrained eye. They speak of the purpose of different sections. An elder in one community might explain, this part of the wall was built to stop the slave raiders from the north. Another might recall a story about how a particular gate was named after a great warrior who defended it. He said, "The wall was our strength. It was our shield. It told our enemies where our land began and where their power ended." The story of Africa's Great Walls cannot be told without understanding the impact of colonialism. When British forces invaded and conquered the Kingdom of Benin in 1897, they did not come to study its history. They came to extend their empire. The infamous punitive expedition resulted in the burning of Benin City and the looting of thousands of priceless artifacts, including the famous Benin bronzes. In the chaos and destruction, the city's great walls were also damaged. But more damaging than the physical destruction was the colonial narrative that followed. This colonial mindset created a bias that shaped how the world saw Africa for the next century. that Africa had no history worth recording. They defined civilization in European terms: stone castles, written literature, Christian religion. The earthen ramparts of Benin, though monumental in scale, did not fit their preconceived notions of a great civilization's architecture. In recent decades, a revolution in technology and methodology has allowed scholars to see the African past in a new light. Satellite imagery, remote sensing techniques like LiDAR peer through dense forest canopies detect subtle ground variations. They reveal faint linear traces of ancient walls, ditches, roads invisible from the ground. Researchers have mapped the Benin earthworks and other earthwork systems, confirming their vastness and complexity. The lost walls are being found again, this time from space. New data is compared with old sources, early European maps, colonial survey documents. Re-examined without colonial bias, old records yield surprising information. A line on a 19th century map once dismissed as a track can align with a satellite feature revealing an ancient rampart. Layering modern data over historical maps creates a dynamic picture of landscape change. This lets scholars trace the full extent of the walls and map their links to trade routes, rivers, settlements. One example, geographer Patrick Darling. He combined 1970s fieldwork with later aerial photograph analysis and showed the Benin wall system enclosed about 6,500 square kilometers. He argued it was not just a military barrier, but a political boundary marker and a demographic boundary marker. It defined the Benin Kingdom's core territory. Another example, ongoing research on Sungbo's Eredo in Yorubaland, Nigeria. Radiocarbon dating and modern studies suggest it was built around 1000 CE and may honor a powerful female leader, Bilikisu Sungbo. That acknowledges the great achievements of African civilizations. The story of Africa's Great Walls is more than a fascinating piece of archaeology. It is a powerful lesson for today. It teaches us to question the histories we have been taught and to seek out the stories that have been left out. For too long, the narrative of world history has been centered on Europe, Asia, leaving Africa on the margins. The rediscovery of these monumental earthworks helps to correct this imbalance. It demonstrates, in soil and stone, the existence of complex, powerful, and innovative societies. Africa's societies existed long before the arrival of Europeans. This knowledge is crucial for building a more complete and honest understanding of our shared global past. Support efforts to have the Benin Walls and other sites designated as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. That gives them international protection. The path forward requires a partnership. International researchers, local scholars, the local communities, the living guardians of this history. Study these sites using the latest technology, but always with respect for local knowledge and traditions. Share the findings widely, not just in journals, in local schools, in museums, in community centers. Teach the story of the Great Walls to every child in Nigeria and to children around the world. This story belongs to everyone. A clear, hopeful call to action. Study, protect, teach. Fund more archaeological research to uncover the full networks. Work with local governments to create laws protecting these heritage landscapes. Update textbooks and museum exhibits to reflect a truer, richer history. The myth of a lost wall has led us to a recorded truth. Embracing this truth corrects an old error. It performs an act of historical justice, restoring a great African civilization to its rightful place. That is a task that matters to us all.